Ladies and gentlemen, summoners of all ranks, gather round your screens and prepare for an unforgettable journey as we welcome you to the Chilt Champion League's League of Legends eSport. This is the place where passion, skill, and strategy collide in a thrilling symphony of carnage. And we have a phenomenal lineup of teams that will make your head spin faster than Garen's judgment. The Rift will be ablaze as our talented competitors channel their inner world's runes and bring down the mightiest of foes. Watch as our ADCs kite like a swift-footed vane, juking every skill shot thrown their way, while their supports provide shields and heals that would make Soraka beam with pride. Mid laners will be weaving spells and roaming like twisted fates, asserting their dominance in every corner of the map. All eyes will be on the junglers, lurking in the shadows, ready to spring into action, seeking out those coveted ganks that make or break a match. And don't be surprised if you find yourself yelling, "Lee Sin Credible!" as you make plays that defy the laws of physics. Expect the unexpected as our top laners flex their muscles, proving that they are the true juggernauts of the Rift. You'll bear witness to high-stakes tower dives and nail-biting team fights where the tables can turn faster than Zed's Shadow Swap. When the dust settles, only the strongest will stand tall, victorious, and bask in the glory of the Nexus explosion. As our shoutcasters navigate you through this roller coaster of emotions with insights as sharp as Talon's blades. That's pretty poignant for tonight. Prepare to have your minds blown like a well-timed Janna ult. Let the energy of the crowd and the thunderous roars of Demacia fuel your excitement as we dive into a series of epic battles that will leave your pulse pounding like a relentless Olaf's undertow. So grab your Doran shields, strap on your Mercury treads, and don't forget to ward. The Tilt Champion League is about to begin. We won't miss a second of the pulse-pounding, action-packed League of Legends extravaganza. With that, I am Jbob. I am joined by Calbert. How's it going tonight, Calbert? How are you feeling about tonight's matchup?
You know what? After that intro, I am ready to go. I am jazzed.
All right. You have any interesting favorites tonight? Who you thinking? It's early to predict that. We haven't seen much from these teams. It's our first game for either of these teams. You have an early favorite for the series?
Yeah, when we looked at the draft and we did kind of power rankings, I think Abarn's team was looking really strong. One thing I might throw a wrench in that is, some of their players I don't think have been on a computer for 10 or 12 days even. So it should be interesting whether or not Abarn's team got enough practice in. And then on the Talon Mid's team, we actually have Rook and Hippogriff who played all last season together, and Speedy and Lemon who played all last season together. So, it's interesting because, you're bringing those components onto a team, players who have played together all last season. Should be interesting, but I'm going to throw it to Abarn's team for a pre-pick guess.
Yeah, I think if I were to agree with you, it would be for the same reasons. I think Spurg has not seen a keyboard in quite some time, enjoying his fancy vacation down in the country down south. So that worries me a little bit, but I think they're still gonna take it. The Riot HR department, while having an interesting name, I think it might put up a solid performance. But definitely excited to see these two teams come clash together.
Yeah, it should be interesting, and a Seraphine ban, not really surprising. We've seen Tailwhip play it expertly. He might have even kind of set the bar for Seraphine play.
Yeah, we see the Kate ban come out. That's an interesting one. That I think Speedy plays it, but Real Clue, I'm not sure she plays it. Probably could play about anything, but clearly targeting Speedy there.
Yeah, and I think Speedy's known for Caitlyn. It's also a super comfortable pick for him. It's safe. It allows him to stand back a little bit farther, depending on what his support does. And then we got a Poppy ban coming in. I think that's targeted for Spurg. Spurg's shown time and time again he loves to play the Poppy. He plays it well. And he's not afraid to flash under your turret and knock you around on that Poppy. So a little disappointed in that. Would have loved to see some of those early game plays.
Yeah, I agree. There's the Talon ban. There's absolutely no way we see Talon, right?
Yeah, I think Talon Mid's name says it all. I really would be surprised if we let it go through. From earlier this week, we saw a couple mains get through, and we saw what happens when people allow that. Not respecting the true main talent there.
I could see Abarn if they win this first game, just total disrespect and letting it through. That would be the most Abarn move of all time. So I could see that. Urgot ban. I did not have that on my list of champs that either of these guys play. So maybe they know something that I don't.
It's not really surprising given that, Hippo normally plays a hyper carry top. He doesn't really do your traditional, tank. So it's not really that surprising, seeing as how we might see a Yone, we might see a set come out of Hippo. Darius is open. So a lot of his champion pool is still up for grabs here.
Yeah, surprised a little bit also to see the Morg ban going after Lemon with that. It's certainly on his list of things to pick. Speaking of on his list of things to pick, there's the Soraka. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, and I'm surprised there wasn't a Yuumi insta lock-in. I know Yuumi did get changed a little bit, but it seems like he's been comfortable on it. And here, I wouldn't be surprised we see the support counter pick coming through.
Or that.
Got some J4.
There's a Spurg pick.
Yeah, so that's a comfortable Spurg pick, and you never know. Tilip could be like IREP. We could be seeing another Jarvan support, and we could see that carry the lane.
I would find that very hard to imagine that anybody outside of IREP would ever try that. But I mean, we know Spurg plays J4, but they could be using that against us and against Go Mega as well. Okay. Theory busted there. Myth has been busted. Substitute your reality with my own Lulu support. Definitely.
Yeah, so that's kind of surprising to me because when you talk about Tailwhip, you usually talk about a very mechanically gifted player, positions really well. And for Lulu, I mean, obviously that champion brings a lot with their kit, but for me, it's a little disappointing. I'd like to see Tailwhip on something that has a higher skill ceiling.
Especially into the Soraka, right? You'd love to see maybe something that can dive and secure that kill. Lulu, not so much that.
Yeah, I want to see Soraka get farmed, and I want to see the Riot HR department get ahead in the bot lane. I think that's kind of where they're going to grab their lead, would be early bot lane, or really trying to get Hippo tilted early. So
Hippo loves
Gwen pick.
Yeah, Hippo's been playing a lot of Gwen, digging through Hippo's champ or match history recently. I think that was actually his most played, at least in ranked. So not surprising to see that. I don't think we've seen Gwen in any of the other games this season. So only been a couple games so far, but that'll be a unique pick for this season. I'm not mistaken.
And what's unique about that is it really opens up Talon mid to play another AD champion. I'm assuming if he plays Talon well, he probably plays Zed well. Might pick the Yone. We might see a Pantheon pick. So it's kind of exciting to see that. Opens up a huge champ pool for him.
Yeah, I know he hasn't, looking through his match history, hasn't been playing anything along those lines recently, but I'm sure he's got a deep pool that he can pick from. The Annie ban.
The Annie ban. So Annie's, I think, the highest win rate champion in solo queue right now. She just brings so much to the table. And not surprising that that's off the table, just with how much she brings to the to team fights and how easy she is to lane with.
Yeah, and I've seen Talon play a game or two of Annie, so not surprising. It can be played top as well, but we know where the Gwen's already going. Anivia, wow, targeting A-Barn's Anivia. I mean, he was on his list, but I didn't think he would have the cojones to play it. But obviously, Go Mega thinks differently than I do.
Yeah, and it should be interesting because, for me, I've never played with Sir Aaron. I don't know what his champ pool is, but you got to assume that, you're going to see an AP hyper carry here from the HR department. And then you're going to see, probably some engage at some point. So you figure with A-Barn's champ pool, Irelia is still on the table. He loves to play Irelia, feed for the first 15 minutes, and then pop off towards the end of the game. So I wouldn't count that out.
I agree. The Ezreal ban, a little surprising. I think they're afraid of that into the Jinx, that mobility. Again, targeting A-Barn with the Rise ban. Interested to see what A-Barn can scrounge up here. I think Sir Aaron's probably going to play a beefy tank of some kind. Sante is going to be my pick out of thin air that I think Sir Aaron might pick up, but we'll see.
Yeah, that I think honestly seeing Cassante in game and being able to see what his kit can do with somebody who plays it would be really interesting, because when you see it in solo queue, it either pops off and it's unkillable, or it's on your team and he goes 0-8 and has no idea what he's doing. So
yeah, the old my team's Yasuo versus the enemy team's Yasuo. So Abarn taking the victor.
And we had Speedy. We got a hover on Jin, hover on Callista. Man, I'd love to see a Jin game.
Zeri.
We got a Zeri pick, and not last season, but the season before that, when he was partnered up with Spurg, we saw a lot of Zeri games, and he was looking really, really well on that Zeri.
Zeri, obviously, wildly common pick in the pro scene, so it makes me think in a competitive environment where you're a little more organized, it probably makes sense. Seeing the Silas hover here, wouldn't be surprised to see that go through. Nope. Okay, we've got, I think, a Trist mid. So good luck, Victor, on that.
Yeah, and honestly, this is kind of picked to stomp lane. Super hard for Victor here to do anything past level 5. So you're going to probably see that Tristana jumping in, trying to get a lot of pressure, and then trying to probably pull, some of that attention mid from Spurg. And I would imagine we're going to see some counter ganks here.
So the Ornn, as expected, seeing the tank from Sir Aaron.
Yeah,
we'll
and that covers the engage too, right? And that's kind of one of the portions. It helps set up for Spurg and his Jarvan. More lockdown for Victor, and then provides that front line for Jinx and Victor to just kind of shoot their abilities and hang out in the back. You got Lulu back there to protect him from, the Gwen coming in and Sejuani potentially looking for a pick.
So speaking of interesting picks, if you want to hop into the Discord and give us some of your draft insights, feel free to hop into League One and we can drag you in, get your thoughts on this, get your thoughts on the Trist mid specifically, perhaps. All right, let's see. Who do we have here? Sword.
Hello.
What are your thoughts on this draft?
So one of the things on today's announcement, I really wanted to highlight, and I didn't do it, but I really want to highlight the Rook and Spurg matchup, because we've seen this every single season. It's always a fun one to watch. I think they each have a unique playstyle that kind of complements each other. And I think it's so funny that we see the classic J4 Sejuani combo as well with it. As a jungler main, again, I like to look at the jungle, but I'm really excited just to watch these two go at it on what I think are just staple champions in TCL.
If I remember your post correctly, you specifically highlighted the bot lane as well, right? As the true juggernaut lane that we really need to focus on. Seeing the two champs on each side that you see, what are you thinking?
I think we have the classic Lemon shield and healer. I think he's going to be good on that. They have the Soraka, they have 2 ADCs, they have the massive front line, they have the Hippo with automatic healing into it. So I think that Go Omega really has to prioritize some anti-heal going on with this composition. And when you look at it, you have Abarn, but is Abarn going to buy it? You have Jinx, is Jinx going to buy it? Because both those champions don't want to stop their build pass for anti-heal. So I think they're going to diversify their immediate build pass and pick up the anti-heal. Whether they do that or not, it's the question that we'll have to see.
Yeah. I'm guessing we're going to see Spurg or Sir Aaron, potentially both of them, go the anti-heal, go the Thornmail route. But if they don't, I think you might be onto something that they're in trouble.
Yep.
So, Calbert? Sword, just real quick, who do you think won draft here? And give us some predictions, early game, mid game, and then who you think's going to take the cake at the end of the match 1 here.
So I think we're going to see a very early gank by Rook up to that top lane. And if they succeed in the kill, because you got Sejuani, you got a melee top laner. So if they succeed in killing that Sir Aaron, I think that's going to just snowball out of there. Because Hippo, we all know Hippo likes to play these engaged champions, melee combats. Not necessarily known for his tanks throughout TCL history. So if we can get Hippo's clearly on a comfort, if he can get rolling on it, I think they will be set up for success.
We'll see if Sir Aaron can go unstoppable with the W and when that Sejuani stun comes through, right? That's pretty much the condition, the only way you're going to survive that gank. Obviously, Ornn's a little thick boy, but that's a lot of damage coming out of the Gwen and Sedge combo that could take him down early and get that snowballing top lane for Hippo.
I agree.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Sword, for stopping by. We appreciate your analysis, and it's coming from our opening day. You were the MVP, and we'll see if your predictions are correct here. And if they are, we're gonna have to bring you back in for it.
I'm predicting a 2-1 Riot HR department victory.
All right. Well, thank you for your analysis, and we got just a couple seconds left here before we take it over to the Rift.
Awesome. Have fun, gentlemen.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, just to revisit, the Lulu pick I think is just, I think it ended up working out with that Trist mid, but I don't know if the Lulu into Soraka really shows a lot of confidence in what I think is one of the better bot lanes in TCL, if not the best, depending on who you're asking. So I would have liked to have seen a little more aggression from the tail whip duo down there, but I think it makes sense now that we see a whole draft. I think that Lulu ult's going to come in handy against a Trist that's dive bombing in.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about tail whip. We've talked a lot about Speedy. We've mentioned Lemon, but the one person we haven't really mentioned is Ryoklu. This is her debut in TCL, and it should be an interesting one. She's definitely got the tools to pop off here and really carry her team.
I agree. I think maybe one of the more underrated talents in the league. Certainly the best rookie in the class that I know of. Better than me, that's for sure. So that that bot lane, I agree with Sword's post that he put up about that being the lane to watch. Certainly other lanes that could be influential here, but you get a Jinx snowball and you get a Zarya snowball and game over, unless you're my team, in which case we had a Jinx that was ahead. It didn't go so well, but we'll just ignore that. That's fine.
And, right here we're seeing a classic 5-point from both teams. They're kind of just dancing around saying, hey, this is game one. Let's not do anything crazy. Let's just let our junglers farm, have a normal jungle path. Let's go to lane, and let's see if we can press our buttons correctly.
Yeah, just seeing a little supportal combat down here. No harm, no foul. Just having some fun between Lemon and Tail Whip.
Yeah, and seeing the icons, gotta love that, right? Just two people having fun. But you mentioned it earlier. I would have loved to see like a Nautilus pick for Tail Whip here, or maybe even a Thresh pick, something where you can
Leona maybe, yeah, for
maybe walking up where he's not supposed to be, or catching Speedy off guard and just being able to punish it. So, and it'll be interesting here to see if there's a level 3 gank mid from Spurg. Jarvan's really good for that, and if he can get level 3 before Tristana gets her jump, then they could be finding something there.
I agree. Any interesting summoner spell selections that you're seeing? I'm seeing Ryoklu with the Ghost, not completely unheard of, but maybe a bit strange not to see the cleanse there when you're into something like Sejuani. You're probably going to get ulted or at least E-stun by the Sejuani. Any thoughts there?
I think there's a lot that goes on with that, but I think there's a lot of trust in Tail Whip, where it's going to be like, hey, I'm relying on you to keep me safe, and I want Ghost, because when I pop that Ghost and I get excited off a kill, I'm going to run their whole team down. So for me, that's an aggressive pick, and I like seeing that. But there's a lot of trust that goes into your support with that.
I agree. I think it's the right person to put that trust in. I think they've got the ability to pop off. That makes up a little bit for that Lulu pick being slightly more defensive, but Lulu can be a little offensive as well. It doesn't just have to shield and polymorph. It can be an offensive pick as well.
Yeah, and there we just saw some trading from Talon mid onto A-Barn. We knew that was coming. He was going to jump in. He was going to try to get a grenade on A-Barn and do some damage there. Spurg jumped into jungle, got a deep ward in there, so you can see where Rook's going. And maybe Mira's ganks. We might see a counter gank here from Spurg. But it looks like we have a setup mid right now. It looks like we have Lulu, and here's Spurg. Spurg's in and doesn't get the pop-up, gets a little bit of damage, and gets out.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, Talon mid, he had his jump. That's going to be a hard gank to secure, right? So it makes sense.
And here we got Spurg trying to bully Rook out of this Scuttle Crab. And it looks like the supports are resetting bot as well. So it looks like the action that we were looking forward to is over, and we're back to farming. And
little exchange bot lane. Jinx looks to be fine. I don't really think they have the dive potential here.
No, and you can see the whole river's lit up for A-Barn's team here. It looks like they just have a ton of vision going into this, which is great for them. They're able to farm and stay safe.
Looks to me like Spurg may be getting the River Vision to push for an early Drake or the bot gank. We might see a little showdown here.
Yeah.
Tail flash in. Oh, there he goes.
And
good flash by Speedy.
And I think that's all Spurg's looking for right now is how many flashes can I get down? How much pressure can I put on?
Tail Whip in trouble. Big trouble. Tail Whip down.
First blood over the Riot HR department.
That was just not as Spurg and Tail Whip and Real Clue had hoped. That initial gank snuck away pretty easily, and then they hung around a little too long. I don't think they realized Rook was in the neighborhood, ready to knock on their door.
Yeah, they should have had vision of that, though. I believe Rook came over Dragon Pit there, and they had Scuttle vision.
Maybe a little overconfidence then. Maybe they think they're stronger than they were early. Obviously, Jinx, at level 3 and 4, having a cull, not maybe the strongest of early trades. So just a misjudgment maybe from the bot lane side there.
Yeah, and we're seeing an early gold lead go over to the Riot HR department, up about 700 gold, and here we're seeing some early backs from the Riot HR department. We got Zuri coming back, both the bot lane coming back. What I'd like to see here is we're probably going to see a reset from Go Mega in the bot lane. I'd like to see Lemon go up and get some vision and get some counter vision, just so we can see Spurg on his re-clear. So having that vision where's Spurg at is going to take pressure off of either them or mid. We know they know Spurg's going to be going down to his blue, and it's just about where can we see him and what can we see next.
Yeah, I have to imagine Spurg has a dragon planned here, depending on how this gank goes. Oh, little exchange top. Ornn makes it out, I think. No! Hippogriff takes him down, snipes him with the ult.
Solo.
That is massive.
All right, and it appears we might just be a couple seconds ahead of the stream right now.
We'll work on that with production. I'm sitting at about 6:36 right now. That's all right. Okay, that little exchange up top. Ornn does have to burn the TP to come back to catch the wave, so doesn't lose a lot of CS from that exchange, but loses a bunch of momentum.
Spurg going in on bot, and looks like he gets the pop up, but we got Rook down here for the counter gank.
Misses the Q. Spurg's still in trouble here, I think. Spurg looks to be out. A-Barn's joining in on the party. Real Clue is in trouble, maybe. Oh my goodness, there are so many people with low HP right now. Talon mid joining the party. Is he going to jump in? I don't think so.
I think he just gets polymorphed. I think that's a good call by him, and it looks like they're going to go their separate ways. Sir Aaron going in on Hippo. Looks like he's upset that he got the solo kill onto him, and he's starting to push back a little bit.
I don't know if that's a fight I'd want to take, Sir Aaron, based on what happened last time in Conqueror. Here we go. Big exchange.
He's going to take it.
Oh! Hippo makes it out. They both make it out. Hippo's staying a little too close for comfort. Has TP, will probably back and come back to the lane, only needing to expend that TP to survive.
And it looks like we're getting a Rook grabbing an early dragon here, and I'm not sure if Go Mega has the vision.
They have no idea
anything about this.
Oh my goodness, the Jinx rocket steal. Can you believe it? I was wrong. I said they have no idea. Mech could have been blind? I don't think they had vision. That was potentially a blind steal.
That was a blind steal. That's incredible. And I think Real Clue on her debut just made the best play we've seen all week. And
that was unbelievable.
Might have been lucky, but
production, I would love a confirmation if that was truly blind on that. That was wild. I think it was, but wow, that was something special.
I know Vision and Pit, but they knew they were on it. They had it looks like they had a Warden in River.
Yeah, so they knew they went in that direction, but had no idea about the health of the dragon. That is just 200 IQ math in her head, calculating exactly the moment to ult. Well done. That is a big swing.
It looks like Sir Aaron's going to be able to bait Hippo in. You can see on the map, Hippo's got no vision, and Hippo loves to trade and fight. And I wouldn't be surprised here if, you could catch him on an ego play out of position here.
I agree. Hippo has 2 wards. I don't exactly know why not using that control ward into one of the bushes. Again, maybe a little overconfidence in the earlier trade. Probably going to crash the wave and back out, though.
And it looks like that's what he's going to go do. He's walking down to Ward River, but if he walks into that try, Spurg's hanging out.
We do see Rook heading towards the top side, so there's a chance we might see these fine gentlemen run into each other. Spurg very patient in that top bush. Looks like he's going to go into the lane and try to sneak in. Just out of vision, I think. With that, oh, I think that minion might have spotted it.
And here we go. We're seeing some aggression from the bot lane.
Soraka just barely surviving. Jinx does have flash. Would be interesting to see a flash Q rocket to the face, but probably going to peel back and just play it safe.
Yeah, and it looks like Hippo's got an early CS lead. Abarn's got an early CS lead, and so does Ryoku. So, you know, gold still in favor of the Riot HR department. Getting close to 1K, sitting at about 800 pretty steadily.
I think with that cull being done soon from Ryoku in a couple waves, that might help balance it out just a little bit. Maybe a plate here on bot. But yeah, some interesting plays back and forth on both sides. Riot HR department holding their own, certainly. Up 2 kills to nothing. We've seen a couple near deaths on Soraka, I think it was, maybe once or twice.
Ooh, and it looks like we got a setup up top right now. Sir Aaron might be caught out here. Nope, he knows what's going on. All right, so Sir Aaron gets out.
Vision.
We see Rook hovering over by Rift Herald. And I think he's going to start Rift Herald here without knowing that there's a ward on it.
I think the ward is his own team's, so he should be okay, unless I'm crazy there.
You might not be crazy.
So hopefully it's okay. I mean, they do have the bush warded in the top river, so they at least know they went in that direction. But it looks like they're going to concede it and be okay with that. We've seen Rift Herald be pretty effective. Certainly in my series, I think we secured an absolute 0 number of Rift Heralds, and it's a good way to get your mid lane going, get them a little extra gold from some plates. And speaking of mid lane, looks like Rook's headed that direction, and I don't think they know he's there. There they go mid. Victor's in trouble here. No flash. He's almost certainly going to go down. But, oh, Spurg joins.
Oh, there's Spurg with the counter.
Abarn.
They might be able to stop this.
I think Abarn's still in trouble. I think Spurg might still be able to convert here. Knocks him up. Rook does have flash, but doesn't really have a safe way to get there. Soraka ult. I don't think that's going to save him. And Tail Whip secures the kill on Lulu. Spurg probably very happy about that exchange right there. Speaking of exchange, how about top lane? Sir Aaron takes down Hippogriff. Hippogriff doesn't use the Ignite. Sir Aaron doesn't use any sums, and Ornn comes out ahead.
Yeah, you know, you love to see that after going down 0-1 in lane, seeing the other top laner come back, trade a kill back, and say, you know, I'm not rolling over yet. Let's duke this out up here.
Well, it went from not a whole lot of action to a whole lot of action all at once. Looks like we've got a couple resets coming around. Berg probably backing as well. Yeah, both teams kind of looking to take a reset, take a chill pill. We have flipped the gold lead. Instead of 1,000 towards the HR department, it's in the neighborhood of 1,000 towards Go Mega. So a good 2K gold swing in Go Mega's favor. Looking to go back, spend that well-earned gold, and be a little stronger than they were in those last exchanges, which I think we've got some impressive fights ahead if they're already taking that lead.
And, you know, now we got Ocean Drake up, spawned, ready to go. It looks like we're probably going to see maybe a skirmish over Vision. And then we're probably going to have to see a pick here for either team to pull the trigger on it. And it looks like Tailwhip might be caught out here trying to get Vision.
Tailwhip ults himself to get out. Probably wasn't necessary. Spurg going in basically 1v3. Gets the Lemon Flash. Spurg should be very careful and probably needs to get out of here. Get some help over the wall. Maybe making the liar out of me. Big ult from Spurg takes down Rook and Lemon. That's almost certainly going to be the dragon. They want a little more. I'm not sure they're going to get it. Oh, they might. Okay, we get a flash from Talon over the wall.
It looks like this is going to be drag number 2 for Abarn and his squad. What a just ballsy play from Spurg right there. You know, he's like, yeah, I'll do 1v3. That's fine for me. And then end up picking up, what was that, 2 kills there and dragon?
Yeah, that is a massive swing. Not what you want to do with the team that has the likes of Jinx and Victor on it. I'm getting some money going their direction. Ferg landing, I think, 1 kill for himself, but that was huge. Getting that second dragon. We do have plates down. Abarn wishes the plates were still up and he could secure them, but no dice.
Yeah, and that's that's unfortunate. But we're seeing Abarn poke him out here, and I think we're seeing another commanding CS lead in the mid lane. Abarn's up about 26 CS, probably going to get to 30 after this with Talon mid's back, and really offsetting here. You got Ryoklu up about 20 CS. You got Victor up, 25 CS, and then top lane narrowing the gap a little bit, but you got Orin down 20. So
I'm surprised to see the CS gap in mid. Trist is relatively easy. Speaking of top, we got Sir Aaron who's gonna go down here, maybe? Rook on the hunt. Talon's gonna secure it. Too easy. Giving Talon some gold. It's got to be the way you take that. There he goes. He finally gets it. Makes up for that gold deficit from the lack of CS in the mid lane.
What a ton of damage though onto Talon mid there right at the end. I thought it looks like Spurg might be able to clean this up.
Spurg might
Talon
be in
mid
trouble.
just jumped over the wall with his W.
Abarn helping. Talon mid. Oh, Spurg's gonna secure it up top. Oh, okay, Rook's in trouble. Rook needs to find a way out of there. Maybe go over the wall. There he goes.
And there's Spurg right behind him. I think Spurg's gonna be able to secure
That's
this.
red buff, slowing him down. Well, Sir Aaron made a misposition there, but his team made up for it.
And we saw the Soraka ult come in there too, and just almost with no effect.
Yeah.
Super unfortunate. It feels bad. I'm a Tristana player. When you jump over a wall and there's somebody there that you do not want to see, that is such a disheartening moment.
Yes. And speaking of disheartening moments, to your point about the Soraka ult, if you see your teams in the fight, you're gonna ult, right? There's no way you don't ult there, even if it doesn't swing the fight. You got to try. I think Abarn's gonna secure the tower here. Oh no, looks like a fight. He's probably gonna bait it into Spurg. Hippogriff's very wisely backs up, but they do get that mid tower to open up the map a little bit.
I don't know how Spurg didn't engage on that. I don't know how it can get any more perfect than that setup right there.
Yeah, I certainly agree.
Looks like some vision control going down in the bot. We can probably get a safe back here from Speedy. He's got his Mythic here. He's got Kraken. He's got a little bit more attack speed. We got Kraken onto the Jinx. We're seeing Mythics come through from everybody except for the supports right now.
Don't sleep on Speedy. He was strong in our series. Obviously, he didn't play Zeri, but I think you set him up for success, and he can have a huge impact in your game, especially late. Very smart with positioning, very smart playing it safe. So I do not write Speedy out. He may be down 20 or so CS, maybe missing a kill that Ryoklu has, but it's definitely not over for that Juggernaut matchup in the bot lane.
But I think earlier this season.
I think your mic is a little goof, Mr. Calbert.
Oh, is it better now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I think, we saw Speedy earlier this week. We saw the old Speedy Bandito, so excited to see what he can do here.
Rift Herald being taken. I have to imagine there's going to be no contest here based on the amount of people we see. Cracking a cold one. They're gonna secure that. I would assume they would take it top lane since they have outer mid turret, but I've seen stranger things. Ryoklu. Okay, Speedy gets out of there with a nice little slide away.
And
starting to set up vision around Drake would be my guess. We've got that up in 50 seconds.
Yeah, that's a big dragon for the Riot HR department to get dragon number 3. I guess I'm confused here on the team names. So Abarn's team is Go Mega.
Yes, I think we had it backwards initially.
Okay.
You and I had it back. Production
was
had it
backwards
right. It was just us.
It was backwards in pre-lobby.
I think we're whatever. It's been sorted.
It's been sorted.
Abarn is Omega. He loves to play Gnar. That's got to be big. We got double TP in the bot lane. That's a lot going all in here on Rook Stout. Will they be able to track him down? Probably.
And he's running for his life right here.
I'm not sure I agree with that before a dragon fight to go all in like that. Spurg might be in trouble. Hippogriff's going deep in on him. Spurg goes down. Tail Whip flashes. Does not get the ult. Hippogriff's still going in. Gwen takes no damage. Gwen might actually be in trouble here if he keeps going
Ryoku's
deep.
got a chance here to pop off. This is what I was talking about.
We're going to see it right here. Ghost is popped. Ryoku's going crazy. She does not want to stop. It's got to be a bear or dragon fight now. Okay. Rook Stout goes back in, gets picked off. The Jinx ult just barely misses Soraka's death. Okay, we're going to see Jinx pop off.
There it is.
Okay, here it comes. This is as predicted.
what we were looking for. That's Dragon.
Yeah, they're going to take Tower probably and Dragon all at the same time. Ryoku absolutely huge there. 3-0-3. Has the CS lead. Has just oodles of money. Yeah, that's not what you want to see if you're on the side of Riot HR department.
Exactly, and this is what we had talked about too. Was Ryoku's got a front line to stand behind. She's got Tail Whip in her pocket, and she's able just to shoot rockets and run people down. And it looks like the gold lead swung out to about 3,500 over to Go Mega here, and the Riot HR department is probably hitting the drawing board on okay, what's our win con here?
Yeah. What do you do here?
How do we get there?
If you're Riot HR department, what are you saying right now in comms? As you reset, as you go back to your lanes, what's your plan?
Right.
That was for you to say what your plan would be if you were them.
What my plan would be, if I was the team that was down right now, would be to try to figure out how I can get Speedy Bandito able to carry this game.
Yeah, he's down about 1,500 gold, we'll say. Speaking of, we got a Baron. This is maybe what they discussed. Rush Baron. It's not the fastest of Barons. It's still very early. Objective bounty on the map. Lulu sees it. A-Barn is there. A-Barn's going to try to steal. Jarvan is not there. They secure it. That was a great call. Normally it's A-Barn with the wild Baron calls, but this time it's to the other side.
Yeah, and we're seeing some turrets go bot lane, but I don't think that's worth it. I think this puts a bandage on the hemorrhaging right now from the Riot HR department, but I think, Go Mega's got such a great lead with Drakes. They have a gold lead. They have gold on the right people. A-Barn's 4-1-5. Ryoku's 3-0-3, and we're seeing a little skirmish here in the bot.
Berg's probably going to slide out to safety. Okay. No issues
And
there.
It's out safely.
They're making the best of it. It was probably an even trade for the tower with some other damage on the inhib tower. Depending on what they do with this Baron, we'll see. But they're getting something. So hats off to the Riot HR department for finding a little bit of light in the darkness that was right in front of them.
Yeah, and with the Riot HR department, they definitely can melt the tanks. They can melt Spurg when he goes in. But what they're missing is that burst damage for the Jinx and for the Victor. And I don't think Gwen is going to bring that. So I think that these team fights are going to keep going poorly. So
We got an
Spurg
exchange in the
here-
top lane. Chris goes down. Spurg still wants to keep going. Rook is in major trouble. Rook's going to go down. Spurg makes it out safely. They're going to clear this tower and maybe more.
And we just see Ryoku there again, just shredding Rook Stout to where it doesn't even look like he's a tank.
Yeah,
And
I'm
the
going to
tower
guess.
trade here.
I'm gonna guess we see a Jinx ban next game. That's my thought. I don't think you want to see that again if you're Riot HR department. She gets even a little bit ahead, and you are in mega trouble, pun intended.
Yeah, and, it's interesting because not all the time do you see an ADC ban. Unless you're on my team, then you see one every game. But to ban out a Jinx, there's other hyper carries. I'd be interesting to see what's in Ryoku's pocket here if you ban that Jinx game 2.
Just under 2 minutes till the next Dragon. That's probably going to be the next time we see a big fight with these teams. Everybody going in, clearing their lane, back and buying some items, buying some wards for that next big fight. That may be the one that decides it. If you're Riot HR department, you absolutely cannot let them get this next Drake. So you have to go all in on it.
Yeah, it's interesting with this Drake is that it just makes Jinx so much stronger. With her range on her rockets, to be able to cast that chain lightning off of it, to have that slow, and to just make you so you can't get away. It just feels so bad when you play against an ADC that's ahead that has that. So I think it's a great Drake soul for A-Barn's team, and it looks like Spurg here.
We're in a little bit of trouble.
Getting
Probably
out.
slides away. Yep. Okay.
Getting out, and their chat right now, they're probably just saying, hey guys, we have vision. We have great vision. We did our job. Let's just not die, get this Drake, and win the game.
Yeah, Ornn's going to go push out top lane, maybe put a little pressure on that tower if he can in the next 45 seconds or so, but probably push a wave, maybe 2, and then TP as necessary into that dragon fight.
Exactly, and we do have some deep wards for Sir Aaron to TP in on and potentially get an Ornn flank.
The old Ornn flank, nobody expects that. The ult doesn't matter. Lemon taking a little bit of poke from Yellowclu, but still just fine.
Yeah, and they're just fighting right here to get vision around where they're standing so they don't get set up. 20 seconds still drag. Seeing side lanes get pushed out. Seeing the setup happen right here. Battle over vision. Everybody knows where everybody is. And they might just stall out and let Sir Aaron get a free tower here, but we're seeing some engage.
Spurg's in trouble here. They're going deep. Riolku does flash to safety. Spurg still in big trouble. Gets the Lulu ult on him. Riolku looking to pop off. Spurg goes back in. Sacrifices himself for the team.
Back out.
Riolku popping off. Riolku cleaning up. That's got it. You have to feel. They're going to get the Drake here. They're going to probably go TP top and push that in. The team will join them and go mega. I don't think they can end. Still too short of death timers, but that's the dagger as far as I'm.
Yeah, and you hate to see a team fight go like that. It's a 4v5. You engage hard. You have the TP coming in. You know it's coming in. So your goal is to kill one before it's a 5v5. And they can't get Spurg down. Spurg is able to re-engage, get 2 people popped up with his EQ combo. Then he gets an ult and traps somebody. Then he flashes out, and he just so many resources went to bringing down Spurg there.
Yeah,
and it's
and
a
they almost didn't get him.
5-for-1.
Yeah, they almost didn't even get him.
Right.
So, yeah, you hate to see it. Sir Aaron may be staying around a little too long, but I'm sure he's fine. He's tanky as they get. We're looking to see Sir Aaron's probably going to back reset. Abarn going back. They're going to spend the gold, come back, I suppose look for the Baron fight, and then that truly is the fight that will...
Yeah, and you see, your ADC at 6-0-6 with 250 farm. You see your mid laner at 7-1-9. They have the items, they have the positioning, they have the gold. Looking really good for Abarn and his team right now.
Yeah, Riolku, she has about 3,000 more gold than Speedy, so we'll call that an item ahead. So that is a problem. Berg thinking about going in, thinks better of it, knowing that Baron is just around the corner.
And, to make matters worse for the Riot HR department is, now you have Drag Soul 2 onto Go Mega, where the poke hurts more, the lockdown hurts more, just an overall bad situation, just getting worse for the Riot HR department.
I think Riolku could probably just solo the Baron based on her damage, and we're going to see that burn happen. I'm a little surprised that there's not much contest going on right now. This is going to be painful to let this Baron go. Obviously, you're not in a great position. You don't have a lot of options. It's an interesting choice in my eyes for that to be the option to give that. You're just going to get sieged down, I think, now. That'd be my big concern if I'm the HR department.
Yeah, but there's really not much you can do. You go to contest Baron, you die, it's probably game. You let them get Baron here, and there's
big engagement Spurg. Okay, we see this rock out, flash out. Couple ults used there, couple sums. They do clear most of the minion wave. We do, of course, have the cannon in the back line, shooting like his job deserves. Okay.
I respect that cannon.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to see Spurg go in. He does not have flash, but we know Spurg. He wants to dive in deep. He doesn't have his ult yet for another few seconds, but he's just waiting.
Yeah, and here the tower's just going to get whittled down. You can't really stand up to this. Sir Aaron...
Just farming. Just enjoys farming.
And Riolku
goes
down.
That is massive. They need to take huge advantage of this. They need to go. Spurg goes back in. Sari goes down. Speed. Huge re-engage by Spurg. Rook
we got Abarn whittling down Rook.
Spurg goes back in, gets Trist ulted away. Spurg is just
not
barely
dying.
Talon's in a rough spot here. Has Sir Aaron on one side. Spurg goes takes him down. I think that's the end of the game.
I think that's all she wrote there. I mean, Spurg just surviving forever there.
That's a tanky boy. And note to Sword's comment, I see no heal cut on either Spurg or Sir Aaron, and it apparently did not matter. Just killed him.
Did not
You don't
matter.
need heal cut. Just kill him 5-head.
So here we go. We got Go Mega taking game 1 against the Riot HR department. And an incredible performance by, Abarn there and by Ryoklu.
Yeah,
who ended the game with 6 Doran's Blades, which is just incredible.
Well, that's the best build I think I've seen in all of TCL. So that makes a lot of sense. Man, that was so close early game. We traded some kills back and forth, and then we had just one exchange where Ryoklu got a couple kills, and that was it.
Yeah, and that's all it took, right? Was just the ember that caused the wildfire, was Ryoklu getting a small gold lead, and then all of a sudden every team fight, he just built that gold lead more and more, stayed safe, and they caught her out at the end with that Sejuani ult, threw everything onto her, killed her, but then, I think they realized, holy crap, Abarn's got double-digit kills, he's got 3 items, I don't think we can kill him too.
Yeah, so we've been kind of ignoring Abarn's contribution. He was 11-1 and 10, had more damage than Ryoklu, so maybe just the rocket cooler, big explodey stuff, but Abarn sneaking in a lot of damage squad. So I see a little star next to his name. He did the most damage.
He did do a lot of damage.
I'm giving somebody MVP that game. It might actually be Abarn based on the stats that I'm seeing.
Yeah, maybe we didn't give him enough credit throughout the game. He was kind of the silent hero in most of those team fights, but man, it's hard not to pay attention to that Jinx with those flashy plays.
Agreed. Plus those Doran's Blade. I mean, look at that. That's
yeah, the 6 Doran's Blades. It's hard to hard to beat that build.
Any other interesting insights? I mean, the Ornn, I feel like, played his role. The Gwen got a couple early kills, but just really couldn't translate that. Hippo couldn't really translate that into any power. Couldn't get a split push going, anything like that.
I think we saw what we needed to out of Rook at the beginning of the game, where he was, counter ganking Spurg. He was setting up for his team. He was making sure Spurg wasn't that impactful. But then we just saw him fall off. We saw him, get melted by, the ADC. We saw him get melted by Abarn. Like he was running around and he was in the right spots, but he just wasn't strong enough at the time.
Yeah. All right. With that, 1 game down, maybe a scrapes. We'll see. We'll see you after the short break for game number 2. Welcome back for another set of fun. I don't have the Chat GPT inspired speech this time. I don't think we need it. That game brought enough excitement on its own. Calbert, thoughts on that match?
Yeah, I think we called that, or at least I think that was my prediction that Go Mega was going to win that. I did have their team names wrong. I believe I said the Riot HR department when I was talking about A-Barn's team because of that adorable picture of the dog. We got that switched around, but to me that wasn't surprising. I thought, I really thought A-Barn's team won draft there. I thought it was such a brilliant gameplay by Spurg there. He was where he needed to be. He was aggressive. Caught us off guard definitely more than once when it came to when it came to him engaging, or it came to him being where we thought he wouldn't be. So definitely some good plays there.
I'm interested to see how the draft evolves. I think if you're A-Barn's side, you probably don't change a lot. I would, if there was, I remember my prediction, I said if they stomp game one, we might see a Talon get through. I still would like to see that. I'm not sure it's going to happen.
I would love to see that ego play by A-Barn, and because if A-Barn beats that, then does Talon Mid have to change his name? I mean,
nope.
And we see band number 1 coming through as Talon. Not really surprising for A-Barn and his team. But what do you think how the bans are going to change here for Talon Mid and the Riot HR department?
I think you're going to see the Jinx ban. I think even though there are other hyper carries, probably force her onto something that isn't Jinx. Could play Zeri.
We see Seraphine coming through again. Not surprising. Like I said, tail whip on the Seraphine, absolutely disgusting. Brings so much to the fights.
A little surprised to see the Jarvan's ban from the side of Spurg and A-Barn. It obviously worked well for them. They know something I don't. Maybe they're just afraid that Riot HR is going to take it. I think it is Rook's most played champ this season, so I get it. I want to see a Gragas this game. I don't think it was banned last game, if I recall. Obviously, it wasn't picked.
Yeah, I didn't see a Gragas ban, but here, we do see the the ban change up, and we see that Jinx ban. Same bans, same exact bans that we saw before, though. I believe we saw Ezreal get banned out. It might have been round 2, though.
Yeah, I think that's right. Still apparently quite afraid of it. I would bet we'll see a different ban here. Maybe the Victor?
Yeah, and, Speedy's best champion being Caitlyn. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a first pick Kate and that going on to Rioclu.
The Urgot pick again, or Urgot ban. Again, a little surprised, but they're afraid of Sir Aaron on it.
I think it's just a counter to everything that Hippo plays, and I just don't think Hippo wants to play that. We see the Gangplank hover. I think this might be a little troll. I don't think Sir Aaron's a Gangplank player.
No
I think
way.
We're just kind of hanging out. They're probably like, chat's going to talk about this, and there it is. I couldn't have telegraphed that any better. You leave the Caitlyn open, Speedy gets his hopes up, you pick it away from him because they ban your Jinx, and now your bot lane, you can basically pair whatever you want with that Caitlyn and have a strong lane.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they go with another safe pick, like a Lulu, maybe something that can keep that Kate safe. Kate, decently mobile. Another Soraka. They thought it
Not
worked.
surprising. Not surprising to see that Soraka come through. I thought Lemon played it just fine last game. His positioning was okay. He didn't get caught out and give over a bunch of gold early. He pressed his alt button when he needed to when his team was fighting. And I'll be interested to see what this gets paired with. Maybe a Varus. Maybe we'll see Tristana go bot.
Interesting little comment there. There's your pick.
And there's the Varus pick. Like I said, I think I'm just done calling out what champions are going to get picked here. I don't want to give it away for the audience.
You got the script on your other monitor.
Yeah.
I understand. You're reading it. Yeah.
I've been time traveling. So It'll be interesting to see what gets paired with the Caitlyn. I'd want to see more engage than a caster here. So, maybe looking at a Nautilus pick pairs really well with the Zac. That's all the lockdown you need.
Yeah, that's not a surprise to see Spurg pick up the Zac. I think, even though he's been in Mexico for a long time, I think that is his most played champ.
I think it's a comfort pick to him. It gives him the ability to dive under turret and have that, have blobs, have the ability to not get as punished for making an aggressive play. And then we see the Morgana pick, for Tail Whip. I like that. It gives them some lockdown. It gives them some engage potential in the bot lane to potentially catch Lemon or Speedy out of position, but it also shuts down the flash ult from Speedy.
The Vi pick into Morgana is an interesting one. I guess they're assuming they're going to use it not in bot lane, because that's going to be a bit of a problem child there.
Yeah, really interesting for me, and maybe this is Talon saying, hey guys, get me ahead early, and I'll carry the game, and that's Rook's answer right there is, well, I'm not going to play Sejuani this game, so I'm going to play Vi, which is, I think, his other Vi, Jarvan, and Sejuani are his 3 most comfortable champions.
The Anivia ban, super afraid of it still. The Annie ban, we're just running it back here, aside from the Jinx ban. Same bans all around. Speaking of the Rise ban, they're giving the Victor again.
It sounds like they're like, hey, pick the Victor again. We'll be ready for you. We got the Vi to lock you down, and then we're probably going to have a big damage dealer mid from Talon mid. Not really sure what's in his champ pool, but I'd love to see something that can be more flashy and more aggressive than Tristana.
I think we're going to see Malzahar. Just calling that now. Okay.
And there's the Yone. So, that's what we needed. And then
that's for Hippo, though, is my guess.
Hippo does play Yone. I'm not sure if Talon mid does or not. I know Hippo's very comfortable on it.
Yeah,
but this does, it opens up the door for Sir Aaron to counterpick this. Yone struggles into a lot of different champions here.
Like a Mordekaiser?
That's more of a skill-based matchup
yeah.
When you look at it. So, Tailwhip doing his classic hover the Ivern.
The Singed, of course. Yeah, the Yone I don't think is a massive surprise. I don't know if I think it makes sense with the rest of their team, but they need some damage, so okay. A-Barn with the Aurelia, possibly. Not a surprise to too many folks.
It fits very well into the comp. It's easy to counter, though, if you're Talon mid, and I've been really interested to see here what he picks to counter that.
I'm still calling it. It's still going to be Malza. But
is he a Fizz player? I mean, I feel like...
That's an assassin, so it's a similar, right? Or
a Wukong.
Monkey King? Could we see it? We're going to see it. Okay. I don't think there's going to be any weird flexing going on here where that Vi is in lane. Okay. Yep.
I think the one thing we are going to see, though, from Speedy is him going the Nashor's Tooth and him going the AP build, because if he doesn't, Zac, you're not going to kill Zac, unless you get some AP damage in this lineup, unless you get some burn. I think the road to victory for Spurg is a little too easy if you don't flex that Varus into AP.
So if you'd like to come in, give us some feedback, give us some thoughts on the draft. Law 1 is the channel for you. I don't know if I see a different enough draft. The Wukong sort of strangely plays similar to the Trist. You want to dive in, you get your knockups, your knockaways. It's not too dissimilar. We saw how that went last time.
Yeah, and we see a lot more utility from Talon mid with his ult. We see some engaged potential from him. Overall, I like this team comp a lot better for the Riot HR department. I think it makes more sense for them. But, looking at, Go Mega and their team, I see that Vi going in and getting stopped by Morgana. I see the Wukong going in and potentially getting ulted by Sir Aaron. And then you have Spurg there as the catch-all of, I can just ult and stop all of you. I think if I'm Ryoklu, I'm nervous about this game because there's a lot of people that can get on top of me. And can't really do too much about it. So a little bit more nervous for her this game to see how she's going to handle that.
I think I'm looking at a lot of physical damage from the side of Riot HR department. Could be AP Varus. Probably would suggest that, but I'm not sure how well that would play into the comp. So I think Spurg is going to be quite thick. Mord's going to be quite thick. There's going to be a lot of health bars to go through, at least between those two folks, and there's probably going to be a Zanya's with Tail Whip. So they're going to have maybe a bit of a hard time finishing off some of these individuals.
We do have a couple people in lull 1 if we want to bring one of them up. I'm not sure if they're in there to play a different game. Got it. Okay, so glad we didn't just snipe one of them up here. I think, if you're speedy here, you have to pick AP, whether or not you burst or you build the Nashor's Tooth.
We might be able to pull up Spirit. He's commenting in chat, so he might be. Maybe we'll try. Maybe we'll try our lovely Spirit. Are you here? I hear you. All right. Yeah, we tried. He's typing in the Twitch chat. Maybe he's on his phone or something. Who knows?
He's probably just hanging out, having a good time, which is totally fine. We got another minute here till the match starts. Jbob, who do you think won champ select, and how do you think this is going to go in the early game?
It's hard for me not to think Go Mega won. On the flip side, if you're Riot HR department and you don't get it going early game for you, you're in trouble. Yone, when you're falling behind, going to be tough. Vi, pretty good early. So again, if you're not capitalizing on that, again, you're not going to have a good time. The Soraka makes it a little trickier early, but I think we've got to see another kill or two, maybe 3 in the first few minutes of the game for Go Mega, or for Riot HR department. But if we don't see that, I think they're in trouble. Scaling wise, it's probably on the side of A-Barn's team, I would have to guess. But if we don't see those early kills, they're in trouble.
Yeah, and the one thing that's scary about Mordekaiser is as soon as he hits 6, you could gank him and all of a sudden it's a 1v1 and then it's a 1v1.5, right? Mordekaiser's bigger than when he went than before the Shadow Realm, so that can just go sideways for him. So I think you got to put pressure on top lane early, and you got to get Hippo ahead because Hippo was on my team last season, and we saw what he was able to do when he could get ahead. So would love to see that this game as an outsider looking in and being able to kind of see that and see Hippo pop off for a game and be able to carry his team.
Yeah, I agree. I assume we'll see another standard sort of 5-point start, but I'd like to see something a little.
Yeah, it looks like right here they're going to set up bot lane, and they're going to look for a pick with that Morgana Q. And we might see Spurg start E here and get an early kill.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So here we see him walking up. Lemon knows.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to let that happen to him. The safe 5-point to catch that. Sorry for the silence there. I was trying to sync up with stream.
Yep, that's 54 seconds. So we are looking good. It looks like we just had some early vision. We got, it looks like Rook's going to be starting red here. We might see a level 3 gank top. Or we might see some pressure get put on Spurg early, because one thing that really kills Spurg is when his jungle timing gets completely ruined. Spurg's a player that does not like to be invaded on his first clear, and he's a player that does not like to disrupt his first clear.
Yeah, I'm going to suspect we're going to see Rook come for a bot lane gank. I think it's what you got to do. You got to try to get Speedy going. We've seen he can carry if he can get even the smallest of leads, so that's my guess.
See some early trading mid.
Yeah, probably coming out behind on that trade, but I have to assume Aurelia is probably the stronger 1v1 character there after level 2, is my guess, but it's just some CSing going on in the bot lane. Everybody having some fun down there.
Oh, and Tail Whip's just trying to get an early bind, trying to get some HP trading over. You know, Lemon's doing a really good job trading right now. Mid, we have this little skirmish.
Talon is go. They've got double ignite going down. Abarn backs off. Too afraid to dive under tower. I guess single ignite, not double. But
yeah, I was just gonna say, Abarn's got telly. Always good when you have a telly advantage, and we're seeing that right now. Mid, we're seeing Rook. Looks like he's gonna hover mid, and this is kind of what we were expecting.
Might be in trouble. Abarn does have flash, but he's probably gonna go in here and cue the wave. No, does not. Oh,
we're seeing a counter game from Bird.
Uh-oh. Rook's in trouble.
Great counter game.
Oh, goodbye.
First blood onto Abarn.
Bird was channeling the E, wound up big, and then had to jump about 3 inches forward to land on Rook's face to secure that.
What a terrifying thing to see.
Big trade top lane. Hippo might be in trouble here. Sir Aaron has the passive going. Hippo is going to go down here, right? Got to.
Just going to whittle him down. He's going to walk behind him. And, you know, I think you might see a little tilt from game 1 here affecting this gameplay early. It's not a sprint. And they're kind of treating it like it.
They do get some good damage down onto Ryoklu. She kind of just doesn't care and sort of trades 1v2 for a minute. Gets some damage on Speedy, but takes a lot more damage on her own side. Maybe she's looking to push this wave in and then go buy an item.
Get an early back, yeah. Looks like Speedy wants it. See him locking up.
He's gonna charge a Q, flash in an E. Morg doesn't have enough mana for I think either a shield or a Q. Ryoklu's gotta fall back here. She's in trouble if she tries to go in much deeper.
And she's just playing. She's saying, you know what? If Lemon walks up and we get a bind on him, right here.
Oh no!
Trap down, auto, and there's the kill.
Wow.
Yep.
I was wrong.
and that's where the damage comes from, is that free trap. You know, you get a double headshot. I mean, look at Ryoklu. She goes. She said, "Yep." Oh my gosh! What a play.
Ryoklu is going to be out safe. Holy moly.
That
Ryoklu
feels
have so much money.
Bad, man.
Ryoklu sitting on about 1,400 gold, can push this wave, clean up this last wave here, and go spend a whole bunch of money and pick up a big, well, part of an item at least, but massive lead in the bot lane already. Even earlier than we saw last game, she's getting ahead. That does not bode well for
and
our HR department.
We have another trade top and a roam from Abarn on a flashless Hippo. We're going to see Hippo go down. The kill go on to Sir Aaron. Man, what a rough start for Go Mega. For the Riot HR department.
We've got a lot of Silver Scrapes fans out there who are very disappointed right now. It's looking it's going so well for Go Mega. Riot HR department. You could be on something with the tilt. It could just be a bunch of really solid plays from Go Mega. It's hard to tell.
We're seeing a lot of good positioning, a lot of good roams. We're seeing Ryoklu play incredibly mechanically well.
Bird goes in deep.
And he counters that.
Abarn does not care. Abarn is safe. Oh no.
Bird here does have blobs. Can go back in.
We got the tail whip roam. Rook Stout is in trouble.
Another fight top.
Shut down.
Hippo comes out ahead.
We're going to see Rook Stout here giving up a kill.
Berg secures the kill. Doesn't want what happened last time. Doesn't want the support to take it from him. Jumps right on Rook Stout and absolutely asserts his dominance in the jungle.
And it looks like Sir Aaron's got a wave to come back to. It looks like we're starting to calm down a little bit. Abarn tanking tower shots there just to say, Talon mid, I'm not afraid of you.
Absolute confidence. I think right now, if you're Riot HR department, maybe your win condition is through the top lane. It's your only kill right now. Seems about even in gold. Seems pretty strong. Is normally the win condition you want your Yone in top lane? Probably not, but you'll take it if that's your only option.
Right, and I believe we saw Shutdown Gold go onto the Yone.
Talon going in on Abarn, turns it around, uses a bunch of Qs, dances around, does very little damage, and then runs away like the Abarn that we know.
And here we see Ryoklu pushing into tower, poking him under tower, and just doing what Caitlyn does best, and that's just controlling the tempo bot lane. You know, it's up to her if she wants to push the lane in. It's up to her if she wants to hit your tower, or if she wants
Spurg
to
goes
make
in
it
middle.
out.
Spurg going in on Talon might be okay. I think he's okay. I don't think Spurg has enough damage, but does save that lane from pushing into the tower. Keeping A-Barn healthy on the CS, saves about maybe 5 or 6 CS for going in there. So good guy Spurg.
Here we see a ton of damage going on to Speedy, sitting right underneath his turret. More damage going on to Speedy, poking him out. We see Hippo being aggressive top lane. Says, "I'll let you know when you can farm."
Yeah. All right, that's probably the end of that. Oh, Hippo continues to go in. All right, Hippo's finally going to back off. But yeah, Real Clue is just in absolute control of this bot lane. Tailwhip can probably roam freely, and Real Clue is 100% safe. Has the Ghost if she needs to get away and run real fast. So it's, again, the powerhouse lane, Real Clue, Tailwhip. Real Clue showing why she's the best rookie of this year's draft class.
Yeah, and you know, she might even be mechanically one of the best ADCs in the league. You know, we haven't seen TJ play yet. We've seen Speedy and how good he is, and we see
Rook coming in bot lane. He's got to go. I don't care if they have vision. You got to try something here.
That is very surprising, but maybe he respects Ryoklu, even though
no flash on
Flash is down.
Yeah,
that's an interesting play. Black Shield was down too, so I'm curious.
Safe mid. Spurg looking to counter gank here. Rook does not know he's seen. He's just gonna queue away probably. Okay. Nice try, Spurg.
I think they're probably gonna look for a drag play here. It just seems like they have an early lead, a big enough lead to just bully him out of it.
Yeah, I assume A-Barn's gonna try to push the wave, do a bunch of damage with the Q, and then go pick up Drake. Or they're just gonna maybe take it with Spurg and Tailwhip. We'll see. Rook Stout is healthy, does have smite, is going down to drag. They do have vision on it. We'll see if Rook can test this. They don't have numbers yet for it. I'd be surprised if they give this for free. They need a little boost to bring up the morale, to bring up. Okay,
Spurg, flash out by Rook. A-Barn's bullying Talon mid out. It looks like Ryoklu says, "I'm gonna go in bot."
Rook, do not go, Rook. Do not. Okay, we see the Vi ult onto Ryoklu. Ryoklu flashes to safety. Big Wukong ult. Not lots of knockup. Aurelia going in.
Spurg getting the dragon.
Spurg bouncing. Spurg. Oh yeah, Talon mid probably in trouble. Maybe should have W'd over the wall, but instead is going to get locked down. Soraka trying to save him. Oh my goodness, Hippo's going in. Hippo going big. Does use the E. Speedy in trouble. A-Barn is trying to heal up. Hippo might be able to do some cleanup here. Spurg's passive gets popped. Hippo gonna be ulted by Morg. Oh, a great second Q. Spurg's definitely right. Gotta go, I'm sure. Tailwhip a little too close for comfort. Tailwhip's gonna go down here. A-Barn barely escapes with a lucky recall. Okay. That could have been worse. Yeah.
Yeah, we just saw a lot of gold go on to Hippo. You know, he's up to 3 and 2. But Sir Aaron here getting a plate, getting some gold, and it looks like we had a lane swap too. Hippo saying, you know, hey, give me the ball, right?
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Give me the ball.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah, put me in. And we're seeing Wukong against Mordekaiser, and you know, not the best matchup for Wukong here. He's already down gold. Mordekaiser's still building armor, doesn't have to change his build path. Might be Hippo, you know, trying to make a statement here, trying to kill A-Barn. Be interesting to see this.
Looks like we're working on the Herald.
Yeah, it looks like we're seeing a Herald play here, and hopefully they can get it down before...
They don't know. Caleb's going to spot it, but is it too late? Yeah, no, it's not. All right, Rook does secure it, but Rook's going to die for it.
Well, he's got the Herald. He did end up dying for it, and you know, we see Rook at 0-4. Right place, wrong time, or do you think he's making some aggressive plays?
If you could have told him ahead of time, would you like to trade your life for Herald? My guess is he probably says no. A-Barn looking to exchange here with Talon. Lemon shows up, goes for Lemon. A-Barn, you better. Okay, yep. A-Barn's gonna good Zanya's from Lemon. Probably still secure it. Talon's still playing pretty aggressively. We see the Morgult, the flash, top lane action. Hippo trying to 1v2. Hippo is likely going to go down. Hippo survive. Oh my goodness. Oh, he goes back in. Oh, Sir Aaron finishes him off with an absolute bop to the head with the Q, the flash Q.
Ryoklu! Minions kill Ryoklu.
Oh, no.
What a bloodbath.
What? Just everybody agreed. Everyone on the map start fighting right now and make it really hard for the casters to call one fight at a time because we just couldn't do it.
At 12 minutes, we're gonna have 3 fights in 3 different areas, and it's gonna be crazy.
Was that in the script as well that you saw?
So right there, we just saw a lot of trades. We still got a gold lead onto.
Spurg looking for some action top lane. We do
Spurg's
have
looking here.
3. A-Barn's joining in the party too. Sir Aaron does have ult. So this is exactly where you want more to ult to buy you time.
Yep.
Rook Stout in trouble.
Oh,
away.
Rook gets out though. We're gonna see Spurg, I think, pick that up, and A-Barn kind of stuff Hippo back and say,
Yep, they're gonna push for some plates here maybe.
Tail Whip, you need to rotate up. Help secure this.
Joining the party. Oh
There it
boy,
is.
Rook Stout, goodbye.
There we go.
Lemon
there's
will
Lemon.
Walk away.
Wee woo, wee woo. I'm gonna try to heal you, but not in time.
Too early. Doesn't have enough AP. Doesn't have enough support items. Not enough healing. Goodbye.
And they said, you know what? I know that there's supposed to be 2 of us bot lane, but why don't you guys have some fun while we run around and get some kills?
Yeah, A-Barn just cleaning up the jungle. Spurg taking red buff. Rook, as if he wasn't down enough. They're beating him up even more, taking all of his camps.
I know how much Rook loves to go into his jungle and see it completely barren.
Oh, we just all love it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. As a jungler, I'm sure he loves when that happens. Oh, Lemon just getting abused under turret. And Spurg gets out.
Spurg barely gets out with the heal from his friend. A-Barn wants to, you can just feel A-Barn wants to go in Talon. He has enough mana to exchange some damage. We're seeing Real Clue. Real Clue's in rough shape.
And here's Rook
Goodbye.
picking up an assist.
Slam dunk, alley-oop. Okay, they're going to push the tower. Speedy has 3 kills. Speedy actually even in gold with Ryoklu right now. They're going to get more from the Rift Herald. I don't actually think it's going to secure the tower. So they're using it as best they can.
Fine magnet.
That was something else.
It's a max
All right.
range fine.
They're trying to put some bandages on the wound. They were down 3k. I think they had 7k, and Gomega had 10 at one point, and it's a little worse, but they're trying their best. Hippo gets denied, I think. He's going to have to E back. Sir Aaron tries to slap him. Doesn't have ult. Oh, Sir Aaron will have ult here soon if he can survive long enough. I don't think he's going to be able to.
Nope.
Hippo. Okay. Hippo going for more kills. I was saying that's hopefully their win con. Spurg does secure the dragon.
Well, there's a bloodbath up top. We see Drake going over to Spurg and his team. Up 2 Dregs, similar to last game. Huge gold lead mid lane, huge gold lead in the jungle. And we're looking at about a 4k gold gap right now.
Hippo is going to secure that top tower. That will help.
And Rook's out getting bullied once again.
Edie's in big trouble. Does flash temporarily to safety. Spurg does not care. Walks up, smites him, jumps on his head. A-Barn's going to secure the kill. Tailwhip tanks the tower, probably to his own demise. Big Vi-ult to the back line. They might be in trouble here.
I was no damage though.
Yeah, Wukong comes in. Spurg probably also going down. Tailwhip better run for his life. Kate ult? Lemon? Oh, Lemon barely lives. Real Clue with the ghost. Oh no. Talon, run. Spurg is still... I assume Spurg had to have got his passive there.
There's a double kill from Kate.
Oh my goodness.
Here's Hippo fighting for his life up top.
No, he just barely.
Another kill.
Hippo just the split push machine. Sir Aaron cannot answer it. And that's their win condition. They've got to win through Yone.
Yeah, and that Rylai's does not help in the 1v1 against Yone, because when Yone goes in, he's not leaving, right? He's not going to run away. Hippo right now is the stronger in the 1v1. But that Rylai is going to pay dividends late game for team fights. So,
I agree. What would you have rather seen? A Rift, perhaps, maybe, to try to...
Yeah, I would like to see Rift for the dueling potential, or, the scary samurai mask. That's what I call it. Not sure its actual name. Demonic Embrace or something.
Yep, that's it.
Would have loved to see that over the Rylai's. I think that Rylai's is more of your hey, I'm going to team fight, I'm going to get my passive up, and I'm going to be annoying because I'm going to slow everybody. But he's hanging in there 3-3, down just a little bit of farm. He did lose his turret, but he's hanging in there, and his team's, doing
Duel here top, maybe. Abarn and Hippo going in big. Hippo has a ton of early damage on him. Just barely survives. Does lose the tower, though, in top lane.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, and what we did miss there was a pickup on a kill mid on Speedy. We did see Sir Aaron flash in and grip him.
So many fights. Again, they just agree to all fight in all lanes at the same time. So apologies for calling things that might be not on screen. I'm looking all over. There's some interesting exchanges everywhere.
And I feel like Rook just gets the consolation prize for, throughout the whole game of, okay, you can have Rift Herald. Jumps off of it here, not giving up his life this time, but he's looking. We might see a steal here from the Rook Stout.
They're getting numbers. They are not killing the Rift fast. Spurg goes in. Rook in trouble. Goes in on Morgana. The ult. Hippo. Oh, they needed more damage from Hippo. Soraka ult to help them get some health back. Abarn going in. Rook goes down. Spurg tries to slow down Lemon. Abarn is popping off.
We see 3 kills go over there.
That's going to be Herald.
Omega. We see Herald and we see Ryoklu rotate up for mid turret. So overall, another huge gold push over to Go Mega. And at this point, Spurg can tank so much damage, and so can Abarn. We've seen Abarn jump in, tank turret shots. We've seen him jump in to 3 or 4 people, and we've seen him come out relatively healthy. So
Ryoklu in big trouble. Hippo goes in. Gets the root, I think. Okay, yeah, Ryoklu, she still goes down. Valiant effort. Shutdown, only 200 gold shutdown to Hippo, but he'll take any bit of extra gold he can get. Spurg just does not care. He's just in amongst 4 people.
Walks in all 4 of them, says, I'm going to disrespect you.
Oh, perhaps a mistake. He goes down for the shutdown. Abarn is also in trouble. Okay, a little bit of overzealousness from the side of the
mid-turret, but they gave up a lot of shutdown gold. 2 shutdowns, 1 on Abarn, 1 on Spurg. Not quite sure.
All of those shutdowns to Yone.
Yeah, not quite sure why. And we have 30 seconds on Dragon, so they did just lose ward control and vision control over Dragon.
Yeah, I think that's some of maybe the usual Abarn squad overconfidence. I think they have the right to be a little overconfident here and take trades like that. Their damage is just unbelievable. Hippo's perhaps the only thing keeping Riot HR department alive here.
Yeah, and Hippo's not a champion that he can carry with. He's got 2 completed items. He's probably, 800 gold away from his IE. Once he gets that IE, he's ready to go. So
looks like we're gonna have a dragon fight here. Both teams sort of centralizing around it. They both know each other.
Is back, and Varus is pretty far away. So I don't think either team's looking to fight right now. Maybe when Varus gets up here, good opportunity.
Oh, we do see Sir Aaron go in. No ult used yet from Mord. Playing it a little safe. Doesn't want to duel the Yone. Saw how that went last time. Okay, we see a Morg binding. Abarn almost definitely going in. Going on Talon. Morg likely to use his ult. Lots of damage. Talon mid. Oh my goodness, that's just so much damage. Goodbye. Wow. Yeah. Clean sweep, and no one's even low on the side of Omega.
That's unfortunate when you put all your resources into Abarn when he goes in, and you essentially get nothing out of it. They dove Abarn right there, and Spurg landed on, I think, 3 or 4 of them, knocked them up, and then became a bouncy ball and knocked them up again. So overall, really good counter engage by Spurg there. Good job by Abarn jumping in and just crushing your spirits. So we're going to see Baron go on to Go Mega here.
They're going to reset, quick recalls, spend the gold, come back.
And they're about one good team fight away before they can just end the game.
Yeah, they're 11k up. Yeah, 11k up is bad times. Sir Aaron picking up the blue buff. Yeah, 11k. That's going to be really, really tough to screw that lead up.
Yeah, and the one thing that I was wrong about is the Varus building AP. I think it was a good opportunity for them to mix in some damage, but not going to say that this game was doomed from early on, but maybe the AP just didn't seem worth it.
Yeah, I think they maybe backed themselves into a little bit of a corner. Threw some good bans, some good counter picks. They didn't leave them a lot of options, but it's a heck of a lot of physical damage going on. So you see some armor items getting picked up, even plated steel caps, just to make themselves a little more thick. And even Abarn has the chain vests, right? They're just trying to be so hard to kill, and so far so good. That was a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage from Caitlyn, and here a good binding under turret, and a ton of damage going into Hippo.
That's, yeah, pops the Immortal Shield Bow. That's something you don't want to see. He's got to go limp back to the fountain and heal. We see our favorite, the
Our
Empowered
cannon,
just absolutely slapping the
doing
living crap
his
out of
job.
power. The cannon has a name. I forget it. Maybe somebody in the chat can remind me. But he's the MVP.
He is knocking down that turret, helping out. Caitlyn's gonna shoot it a couple times, get that turret down, and
denies the Hippo engage.
yes, and we're one fight away. I'm right here.
This is it. They just don't care. Hippogriff going in, giving his best. Abarn does not care. They just are
And look
way
at
too
Spirit.
tanky. Just bounce out. He's hanging out with the kids. Bouncy house does not care.
He's unkillable.
He just went in 3v1. Ryoklu also just doesn't care.
He said, "I'll take the turret to get this kill. That's fine."
Yeah, sort of
Triple kill on
doomed.
the real clue.
Doomed for a while. We felt this coming. Abarn backs and TP's in just to have another item to look better in the post-game lobby.
Yeah, I mean, what an incredible showing here. They got the lead. They commanded the lead. They only had that one kind of screw up where they gave 2 shutdowns to Hippo, but at the end of the game, Hippo wasn't strong enough to make a play at the end of the game and turn that into something.
Well, there's your end of the game screen. Wow. That was maybe within the first 2 minutes. It felt like we all knew where that one was headed.
Yeah, and not surprising seeing Hippo leading the damage there. But what is surprising to there throughout that game. But overall, the damage chart's pretty one way here when we look at Go Mega.
So I think we're looking for a post-game interview. We need our MVP. I would like to nominate Abarn. I think he had 2 absolutely solid games, led the damage for his team in both games. Ryoklu did well there, not as dominant as the first game we saw from her, still very impactful, but I think we saw Abarn lead his team to victory, probably in comms and strategy and draft as well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Normally, I wouldn't elect Abarn just because it's Abarn. But yeah, I have to agree there. I have to say, Abarn, well-deserved MVP. Let's get him in here and let's hear his thoughts on how this game went.
Mr. Barn?
Why, hello there.
As you may imagine, you are here as the MVP of the series. 2 absolutely solid games. I'll apologize. I'm sure you're going to watch the VOD. I'm sure you're going to hear us not mention your name a whole lot in the first game because it just felt like Ryoklu was popping off. But when you look at the post-game lobby, we see your kills, we see your damage, we see it in 2 games in a row. We got to give you the MVP. Tell us about the series, what your thoughts were.
Yeah, I mean that first game, the thing is like playing Victor, he's always really quiet. That game was like pretty solidly even. I will say restricting mid lane's champ pool there, given that he has to just go on something weird like Tristana, like I don't know that Tristana is maybe at the top of his champ pool, and like he didn't really pressure me in lane, so I could kind of do whatever I wanted. But I'm sure you guys saw this. Like the moment that game completely just fell upside down was during that dragon fight where we had to like kite back into our jungle, and unfortunately, I think Speedy got a little too ahead of himself, and he like dove headfirst into us. Even during the 4v5, and we just like one shot him and then turned the fight around, and it was kind of just easy from there. So that game played itself, but I was really like Spurg is just absolutely insane. That guy's a monster, tons of energy. Like you probably saw game 2, we lined up that like level 3 counter gank. And
Or he had to jump 1 foot on Zach to
yeah,
land on the vibe.
That was so funny. Yeah, he's insane. I got to give a lot of credit to like tail whip. Like in that last game, like our joke was he was just kind of following Rook around the map and making his life hell. Both in vision and that. Yeah, I mean it was just insane.
Yeah.
You know, Ryoklu in that first game like just popped off. And honestly, that like the bot lane fight in the first game. Do you remember when we got like engaged on bot lane towards the beginning of the game and we like they kind of dove us under tower and then we turned the fight and went back on them and she got a quadra kill, I think. Like it was funny. We were all calling like no, and Tiffany at Ryoklu was like stepping forward like no, we got this, and then finally we found the opportunity and went. So everyone's just kind of juiced up. Sir Aaron's, I gotta give him a shout out. Like I know people were, you know, memeing him, but he came and he really showed up and he did a great job against Hippogriff.
Yeah, I his Ornn was strong. The Mord, I mean, that's such a tough lane against the Yone. He lost a couple 1v1s, but absolutely held his own, uses ult intelligently. I thought it was solid. I do have to ask, after the first game where you guys, after the first few minutes, you took control of the game. I had a theory that you were maybe going to let the Talon go through draft just to disrespect because that would be the most A-Barn thing of all time. Did the thought even go through your head?
No, it didn't, because I think at this point, like, you know, we're kind of past the ego. We just want to win some games, and we looked at that and we said, so we had an interesting strat. Game one, we were very confused why they didn't take Jarvan. We thought that basically they were looking for a Caitlyn or a Jarvan first pick, and I forget what they ended up picking, but it was such a weird pick where we were like, why didn't you just
It was a Soraka pick both games.
Yeah, that's right. Because like we were never going to pick Soraka. We actually built an entire draft spreadsheet around the likelihood they were going to be picking J4 in some capacity, and then they just didn't. And we were like, wait a minute, we left it up for them. Like we wanted
Rook's
to
top
pick,
I think, this season, J4. So agreed. Surprised that we didn't see that.
Yes, it was strange, but you know what it is. What it is, they picked that. We ended up with kind of like we almost picked for blue side on red because we just kind of got everything we wanted. So that was good. Game two, we were wanting to pick the sort of like Kate, either Morg or Lux or something bot lane. We knew we actually wanted to take the Yone, but they picked it early away from us to make sure we couldn't have it. And so Irelia was kind of the next best thing. And Spurg and I just had a game. So
awesome. It was really fun to watch. Your team looked like you guys were having fun. It looked like you and Spurg had a moment where you guys were like, "Hey, we're huge. We can 2v5 this." Yeah. Mid lane, was there a sense of doubt or silence after that, or after that whole shutdowns went to Hippo?
No. I mean, we like early on in that game, we knew we had kind of complete control over it. Like the moment we won that level 3, we just knew the game was going to be kind of an easy to finish. Bot lane went insane. Like they're just very good players and they play very intelligently. I will give credit to Spurg though. I mean, seriously, as like a mid jungle duo, he and I were just locked in. We were walking around the map together, communicating really easily, and really felt really good considering that for the rest of the season. So
yeah, it seemed like anytime that you were under pressure, the Vi would come in. He would just come flying over the wall, ready to counter gank, ready to be there for you. Surprising, since he's not been playing the game or for the last.
It didn't look like that. We were a little surprised. He's been in Mexico for the last like 10 days, and we're like, shit, he's gonna come back. Like we're gonna get completely just destroyed. And yeah, I mean, the thing I love about Spurg is he just plays like a madman. He plays like he's absolutely insane, and it's just the kind of energy that I like having on a team for sure.
Yeah, your earlier comment that you're moving past the ego, I think there's a lot of people in the stream probably pressing X to doubt on that a little bit. But I do think your actions did speak louder than those words tonight.
I mean,
the opponent.
Right. I mean, that's the thing, right? We played smart. Like Talon's a masters mid laner, and he's a good player, but it's just like instead of trying to go too hard or make dumb plays, we just picked the right draft, executed the way that we're supposed to do it, and we won the game. And there's nothing else to say about it,
You're certainly making a case for you guys to be one of the stronger teams this. Of course, behind probably Control Delete, but maybe.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure you might feel like the loss the other day was a fluke, but it is what it is. I'm looking forward to those games, and the regular season's always fun. Everyone makes it to playoffs, so it's more just kind of a little bit of a warm up. Getting into the groove of things, getting that seed that you want. But yeah, for sure, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season and playing you guys. All
right, I think the stream has heard probably enough of the night, so we're gonna boot you out of here and say GG. You absolutely ran it tonight, so keep that up. Well done. Absolutely banging. Nice work.
GG's, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Abarn.
All right. So with that concludes week 1, season 6 of TCL. So thanks everybody for tuning in, not to this game only, but for the entire week, the entire season. And because of this delayed game, we've only got a couple more days, I think, until the next game for week 2. So
Yeah, I think our next game is Sunday at I want to say
doubleheader Sunday. First one's at 6 o'clock Eastern, I believe, so a little earlier than some of the other games. So make sure you've hit the bell, you've getting the notifications, you're subscribed with your Twitch Prime, all of that good stuff, so you know when we go live at 6 p.m. Sunday Eastern Time. We'll see you then. Cal, nice cast. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for it. Droid, big shout out to the man in the control room. Droid, appreciate all your work tonight. And yeah, with that, we'll sign off. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you.